Hi guys, I'm Phil Snowden, the fat loss and performance coach here at Meta Evolution Gym in Chatham. Hello, how are you doing? Right, today's video then is following on from our previous videos on habits, and it's all about procrastination, okay, and identifying what type of procrastinator you might be. Okay, so on an unconscious level, okay, but below what we can physically control with our minds at one time, we have different types of unconscious drivers that drive procrastination, okay? First of all, we have our genes, then we have our life experiences, and then we have context, i.e. our surroundings at that time. So if we have a look at our genes, although it's important to know that procrastination isn't followed down from mother to child, not by any means, there are things that go on in our central nervous system that make us procrastinate, i.e. danger, okay? So when we sense danger, we either try and run away or we try and fight danger. You might have heard of the fight or flee response that the central nervous system provides us. Essentially though, we can split down our genes, if you like, into avoiders. So people who will try and avoid any kind of danger at whatever cost. So imagine there's something that you don't like doing, you're not likely to do it or choose to do it, so you might just kind of swerve. I don't know, it'd be a conversation that you have to have with someone or a phone call you have to have, but you really don't want to make it because you know it's going to be awful, okay? You'll be avoiding it. We also have, in response, as well as our fight or flight response, our freeze response. So imagine like a deer caught in the headlights, kind of like, so we have our freezers. So people will not necessarily not do anything, they'll just freeze as their stress response and do nothing, I guess, or perceive to do nothing. Then we have the not motivated. So, all right, it doesn't necessarily come from the genes, but it comes from our personality, which obviously we get from our surroundings and our parents and upbringing, what have you. But if we're not intrinsically motivated by something, then we're not going to likely do it. So these guys need to be extrinsically motivated to be able to do something. Otherwise, if they don't like the sound of it, then they're not going to do it. So a big slap or a big kick up the butt, then they're going to be driven and pushed into doing something. So then we can have a look at our life experiences now, and that can get broken down into a few types of procrastinators as well. So if we imagine like a child getting repeatedly told, you don't do this, don't do that, stop this, stop that, no, no, no. They're going to obviously be brought up like that, and that's going to either create a passive-aggressive kind of rebellion, if you like, within the child, where they're like, oh, I don't want to do that, and will avoid doing it, essentially. Alternatively, it can have a massive negative impact on their self-esteem. Imagine getting told daily, no, 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 don't do this, don't do that, without my permission. Then those guys are just not going to have any belief in themselves, and they're just not going to feel that they have the capability to do that themselves. They'll probably want as well and demand someone to say, do this or don't do that. They'll wait for someone to tell them to do something. Then we have our perfectionists. Okay, people who say something has to be perfect first, okay? Well, that time never comes because we know nothing's ever perfect, but there'll always be going on and delaying when something should be done because that something isn't perfect, and it never will be. Just get it out there, get it done and out of the way. We also have the arousal or thrill seekers, people who say, yeah, I'm just an adrenaline junkie, you know, something has to really excite me to get it done. Well, actually, there's no proof behind that whatsoever. And in fact, these are thrill seekers and arousal seekers are actually procrastinators, and they thrive off last minute detail. So they like the thought of being able to accomplish an impossible task, as it releases a neurochemical called dopamine, which makes us feel good about ourselves, and is kind of linked to like cocaine addiction, sex, and gambling as well. We also have our context then. So kind of having a look from the context, we have our addicts. Now these guys come across as procrastinators because they're simply too busy doing something that they are addicted to, whether it be gaming, whether it be Facebook, whether it be socializing. They just don't have time to be doing the tasks they should be doing, so they are addicted to something else. We then have the equalizers, kind of on the other side of that, people who just don't know how to prioritize. So everything is equal. So there's no if you like, importance. There's no urgency. Everything is just balanced and equal. So it comes across as they are procrastinating. It's not that they won't do their tasks. It's not that anyone won't do their task per se. It just needs to be some kind of motivation to do it in some sense. So hopefully here then, guys, you can identify 9 different types of procrastinators. Okay, maybe you yourself can identify to one of those types. If you can, and you want to get out of that stuck in a procrastinating cycle, stay tuned for the next video, and I'll show you how to do that. Until then, keep it real.